going to be discussing, or I should say, reviewing the books that I've read for the month of January. This video, yes, I know it's coming late. I know it's February. Do not get on my head. I already know. But better late than never. So, this is going to be revolving around urban fiction, because that's all I read, urban fiction. So hold on, let me put up my little tracker. This is my book tracker. I'm gonna put a picture right here. So nonetheless, let's just jump straight into it. So I read a total of 10 books in the month of January. The first book we're going to discuss is The Black Widow. The Black Widow is written by Nikki Turner. I picked up that book on January the 3rd, and I finished it by the 5th. I rate this book 4 out of 5. If y'all want to know the spice level, I'll put it there. But anyways, so this book, I say it was interesting. It wasn't really like, oh my gosh, page turning to me, my preference. But I will say, my girl had it rough, okay? She had it rough. Hence the name Black Widow. She really did have it rough. It's like she could never keep her head above water. Every time she turned, there was something bad waiting to happen. At this point, I just want her to stop turning, okay? Stop turning a new page in your book, because every time you turn, something bad happens. But anyways, nonetheless, it was a good book, to say the least. I recommend it. So yes, I recommend it. Next book is going to be Relapse, also written by Nikki Turner. I started that book on the 5th and I ended it on the 7th. As we go through these books, y'all gonna realize I read fast. I've been reading for a lot of years now. And I read pretty fast. That's just me. Relapse. She basically was relapsing. And I'm thinking like, okay, relapse over a drug. No, it was a person. Book was cool. Don't really have much to discuss about it. Yeah. Next book is going to be Passion for the Heast by Kawan. I guess if you like his books, you like his books. If you don't, you don't. Okay. Granted, I like his books. Okay, I do. But this one right here, I could not get it. Cause like, why are we waiting for the plot to happen in the last 40 pages of the book? And I am not exaggerating. If you pick up this book and read it, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. I rate this book a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Just because it took 10 years for the plot to get there. We started off slow in the beginning. Granted, it's a great book. Kawan, he's a great writer, so it's a great book. But it was slow. So it wasn't a page turner. Like, as you can see, I started the book on the 7th and I ended on the 10th. So, but all in all, it's a great story. Cool. I would love to see that in the film, actually. If they can create a movie about that, I would love it. But anyways, back on track. So after that book, my next book, which I loved, was My next book was A Ladies' Night by Christian Keys. That book right there, it is based, take it back, it's not based. They have a TV show based off of this book. If you all are familiar with All the Queen's Men on BET Plus, with Madam and Amp and all of them, yeah, that's this book right here. 10 out of 10. Even though I'm only giving 5 stars, but 10 out of 10. It is the exact same as the TV show. It's just that this book stopped once Amp was off of probation. Ooh, not probation. Parole. Once Amp was off of parole. And yes, there's a difference between probation and parole. If you don't know, whatever. But it was perfect. It was perfect. Amp is still Amp. Dime is still Dime. Madam is still Madam. It's just that they tweaked it a little bit for the TV, but all the characters are still there. Still there. I would highly suggest you all reading that book. I'm sorry. Started that book on the 10th, ended it on the 12th. Okay, 5 stars. Once I put that book down, I picked up something on the side. Something on the side. 5. Oh no, I picked up Something on the Side. I rate that one a 4.5 out of 5 because strong on the because. It wasn't there for me. So the next book is Something on the Side by Carl Weber. Started it on the 12th, ended it on the 12th. Like, have you ever had a moment where you feel like you've read this book before somewhere? Like, I remember reading something like this before. That was this book. Like, I feel like I read this before. But, hey, it was good nonetheless. 4.5. She as in who's like really like the main character of this book, because it is from the point of view of 4 different women, but the one that had like the page turner section of it, she was a little bit delulu and making up stuff in her head, and yeah, it just didn't go right. It didn't go right for her, basically. But in the end, she got it back together, okay? But another character after that was getting beside themselves. What she did, I want y'all to go ahead and pick up that book to read it, because at that last chapter of Something on the Side, yeah, it was like, I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's how you have a cliffhanger. That's how you leave a cliffhanger, okay? But the next book, because obviously if I read that book in a day, it was obviously good. So what I did, picked up the next one. You right on. I picked up the next one, which is Big Girls Do Cry by Carl Weber. This book, I rated it 4.5 again, because towards the middle, it was like repetitive. Like, some characters I didn't really really felt like reading, so I skipped a few chapters of it because I didn't feel like reading it, because it's narrated from their point of view. So I knew which characters I wanted to read about and which ones I didn't. But in this book, I can give y'all a little scoop. So in the first book, which was Something on the Side, there's these 2 characters. They are sisters. Well, one of the sisters ended up sleeping with her blood sister ex-boyfriend of 10 years. 10 years. They ended up sleeping together. Oh, but y'all gotta read that book. That book was so good. It was so good. But 4.5 out of 5, because some characters I just didn't care for. I read that book from the 12th to the 19th. Now, granted, this book was really good. I could have read it all in one day, but life. After that one, on the 19th, again, I picked up the next book, which was The Case Manager by Latoya Chandler. You ever had a book where it was like, oh my gosh, like straight out the gate like that? Like y'all just starting off like that. That was this book. Now, trigger warning, this book does talk about SA and rape. So proceed with caution. If you're a person that is sensitive to those subjects, I would say just not read it. But all in all, it was a great book. I gave it a 5 out of 5. It was a page turner for sure. And how do I know it was a page turner? Read it in one day. One day. But I loved it. It was regarding a few kids that was going into the foster care system, and this quote unquote pimp was taking these little girls in. Now I'm gonna leave it right there because I want you all minds to wonder, and actually I want y'all to go read the book because it was good. And once y'all read it, y'all come back and we can talk about it. Okay, we can talk about it. But after that book, on the 20th, I picked up The Streets Keep Pulling Me Back by Brittany Williams. That book got 5 stars as well. I was like, whoa. At first, starting it off though, first chapter I was like, yeah, I'm not even really into this. But as it went on, I was like, oh, well, all right then. But 5 stars nonetheless. Like, you want to read a story about somebody getting set up by the one they love? That's the one. This book right here, that's the one. Okay. I read that book starting on the 20th, ended it on the 22nd. What can I say? I like to read. So after the 22nd, I picked up another book, which was Autumn, A Twist of Faith. Now, I started this book on the 30th. Yes, I know January have 31 days or whatever, but I'm going to read till I can't read no more. Simple. So, once I picked up that one, rating the book a 5-star. It's these 2 best friends, and they both have their own part. It's a part 1 and a part 2 in one book. Question. If y'all all have read that book, was the men, were they white? Like, I want to know, because they sound white. Like they got a lot of connections, like legal connections, okay? But nonetheless, I loved the storyline. Like, I loved it, okay? I recommend that book. I'm not going to give too much detail, but love is found in the end of it all. Like, it is found. You might have thought that I was done there, huh? So let's count how many books I've read. 1, The Black Widow. 2, Relapse. 3, Passion for the Heat. 4, Ladies' Night. 5, Something on the Side. 6, Big Girls Do Cry. 7, The Case Manager. 8, The Streets Keep Pulling Me Back. 9, Autumn, A Twist of Faith. So let's go to number 10. Now, number 10, special introduction. I love me some Ashley Antoinette books, okay? If it got Ashley on it, 10 out of 10, I done read it. Like, I done read it. I'm about to read it. I know all about it. I done read it 11 times. Like, it's somewhere in those categories. You can't be like, Janae, have you read this book? I have. Absolutely, I have. So, she and her husband are both authors. Like, wow. So, this next book is called Dirty Money. Again, this is a book where I felt like I read before, but it don't hurt to read again. So, this one right here, it's so many twists and turns. Like I don't know where to start. But in the end, old girl got her get back. She really did get her get back. And this is a story to teach you to work smarter. Like, don't ever try to outsmart somebody. Like, work within your means. Like, don't bite off more than you can chew. And granted, they was doing good, but everything that goes up must come down. And when it came down, it came down. Like, imagine the man that you was messing with, you left him alone, all that good stuff, just for you know what? I ain't about to finish the sentence. Cool. Y'all go pick that book up. Go read it. And whenever y'all done reading it, come back and we can discuss it, okay? We can discuss Dirty Money. Really, we can discuss all 10 of these books if you want to. So I started Ashley and Jaquavia's book, Dirty Money, on the 30th, I want to say, or the 31st, and ended it on the 31st, obviously. 5 out of 5. As I said, I love me some Ashley. And her husband books. Oh wait, her husband books is just as good now. Don't think that I just love Ashley and I don't love Jaquavia's books as well. Jaquavia's books is perfect. If y'all read The Cartel and y'all want to talk about The Cartel, come my way, because we can talk about The Cartel too. I love them. But yeah, those were my 10 books. Did I enjoy all of them? Abso-freaking-lutely. Like I said, if you all want to discuss books, we can definitely discuss any books you want, okay? Leave any type of recommendations that you may have in the comments, because I'm always looking for recommendations. Always. I'm never going to turn down a recommendation. Unless you call it urban fiction and it's not really urban fiction, it's a romance fiction. I love urban fiction. Okay? Urban fiction. Don't come here with no books that's nothing dealing with urban fiction and I can't really get into it. I need the spice level to be spicy, as y'all seen with all the other books, because I don't know if y'all recognize the little chili peppers underneath it. That's spice levels. I like a spicy book, okay? And an urban fiction book, because it can be a romance fiction and spicy, but I like books, okay? So thank you all for tuning in to this new episode, and stay tuned for more. I think I'm gonna do this like every month or at the end of every month, which the video will more than likely be posted at the beginning of the next month, because obviously I read up until the very last day of the month. So yeah, just be on the lookout for that. Thank y'all again for tuning in. See you next time.